You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never...
Is this real life? I feel crazy. The world is spinning around me. What's happening? You have 4 eyes. I have 2 fingers.
For years, the warning signs were dismissed as noise, awkward moments brushed off, disturbing clips repackaged as entertainment, and serious questions buried under laughter and denial. But now, with 50 Cent's explosive documentary dragging the past back into the light, everything is being re-examined. What once felt like whispers are turning into alarms that can't be ignored. At the center of it all stands Diddy, a gatekeeper of power and opportunity, and Justin Bieber, a young prodigy pulled into that world before he had the strength to protect himself. This isn't about viral clips or internet theories anymore. It's about power, silence, and how the truth can stay hidden for years when looking away is more profitable than accountability.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this will be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, go get the front shot in.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15, you could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
Alright,
No.
16.
You're not ready.
16.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down, Justin.
Okay.
Let's slow down,
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you know, when you get 16. You good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Alright.
Then, when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion? Yeah. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go buck full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about,
kid. Justin Bieber's rise was sold to the world as a flawless pop-era fairy tale, but behind the spotlight and polish sat a far more unsettling reality. He was still a teenager, moving through rooms filled with powerful adults, with little visible protection, and even less concern for boundaries. Old interviews and forgotten clips reveal a pattern. situations where access and influence mattered more than age-appropriate limits, all hiding in plain sight. For years, these moments were waved off as normal celebrity culture instead of questioned as a systemic failure. This isn't about one clip or one night. It's about conditioning, about an industry trained to ignore red flags. And when youth becomes currency, the real question is unavoidable. Who pays the price, and who is ever held accountable?
You got people in the industry that's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody gonna come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for him in their life. Kim Porter dead. Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, then have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, you know, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of like suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and you know they're making a lot of
For years, 50 Cent deliberately kept his distance from Sean Diddy Combs' inner circle, signaling discomfort with the energy around it while refusing to play along. At the time, his comments were brushed off as jealousy, rivalry, or attention-seeking noise. But now, as legal pressure mounts and public perception begins to shift, those same remarks are resurfacing with new weight and unsettling clarity. This doesn't suddenly confirm every allegation, but it does reframe intent, showing how warnings can exist long before proof becomes undeniable. The truth is rarely convenient. It's easy to dismiss criticism when it comes from a voice people prefer to discredit. And that leaves one haunting question. How many early red flags are ignored simply because the messenger threatens the story everyone wants to follow? Diddy stretched far beyond the studio, shaping who was granted access to rooms where careers were fast-tracked or quietly frozen out. Justin Bieber's proximity to that world wasn't an anomaly. It reflected a broader industry pattern where opportunity moved through powerful intermediaries and closed-door leverage, not transparent or accountable systems. In that environment, success often depended less on talent alone and more on proximity to power, leaving young artists exposed, unprotected, and subject to forces they were never equipped to navigate.
Bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Well, apparently not.
Something, everything ain't fair.
Cheapest white.
If he's bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber, allegedly. I don't know, bro.
Right. But when you heard the news that Diddy, he had to cheat with another man, did that catch you by surprise or no?
Well, all this shit is by surprise to me. A lot of this shit is by surprise to me, to be totally honest, man. Because I knew Puff. I knew Puff Daddy.
The real issue isn't confined to what may have happened behind closed doors. It's about why accountability failed in a system where success depends on proximity to power. When progress is granted through access, boundaries blur fast, and caution is reframed as weakness rather than protection. In that kind of environment, the pressure isn't quiet or accidental. It's structural, built into a hierarchy driven by control and imbalance. At its core, this is a story about power itself. Who truly has the freedom to say no, and who is forced to carry the consequences when they try.
I knew Diddy before he was Love and Brother Love and back to Diddy. So, no, but the diddler, he's the diddler now. A lot of it's surprising, but it's not unheard of. Because you hear of all kinds of shit, and whether it registered with you or you internalize it or something like that, that's a whole nother story. But a lot of this stuff is crazy. But this is the world that we live in now, man. That these individuals thinks it's all right. Bruh, when does it comes all right to be sitting there eating food off a naked woman? When did we start doing what they do? Let's keep it a buck. When did we start doing what they do? These guys is popping pills. These got Jay-Z dancing with a chick that's...
Long before Justin Bieber became a global icon, Usher openly spoke about entering Diddy's orbit as a teenager, and later admitted he was exposed to adult pressures far too early. That history matters because it points to a pattern, not a rumor. When the same dynamics resurface across different generations, coincidence fades and continuity takes its place, revealing a system where authority and influence are passed down without real reform. Recognition without correction becomes its own kind of failure. And if discomfort was acknowledged once and left unresolved, the question that cuts deepest is this: why was the system allowed to stay intact when the next young star was led down the exact same path?
Might make you change your mind. Look at Lil Nas X. He fizzled out fast too.
So would you say someone like Justin Bieber is a victim? I just seen he is reportedly selling his whole catalog because he's broke.
Yeah. Yeah. And once he finishes getting that money, I don't understand why he's broke. He didn't have to be broke. Usher just wouldn't stop robbing him.
Damn.
I mean, Usher couldn't keep his hands out of his pocket. It's funny. He got him signed and turned over custody to Diddy. And boy was never the same, and neither was Usher's pockets, because Usher's been living off of Justin Bieber's money. He ain't been living off of his own. Because the truth is, Usher don't really make that kind of money. And I'm really just kind of sick and tired of Usher Raymond.
Yeah,
I'm really kind of disgusted with Usher Raymond, who does Greek wrestling nude with men over Frosted Flakes, allegedly. Like, I'm sick and tired of this guy who everyone knows got the Diddy bumps, who's been sued for passing them on and lost, is still sitting there disgracing women in front of their men who bought the tickets to like that whole scheme.
He's causing a lot of divorce courts.
But why? He don't even want them. He don't want them women. He's literally doing it just to destroy relationships.
As scrutiny around Diddy intensified, many former allies quietly disappeared into silence. While 50 Cent doubled down, his stance exposed an unspoken industry equation: challenge the narrative and risk your relationships, or stay quiet and preserve them until loyalty and self-interest become indistinguishable. This isn't panic. It's calculated restraint, a system where honesty competes with professional survival and often loses. And when silence becomes the safest option, one question refuses to go away: can real accountability exist in an environment designed to avoid it?
I watched a video of an interview of Justin Bieber, and he was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was like, he was broke, almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billy. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown girl with Drake. These people are monsters.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real thing. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Jermaine Dupri said something interesting. He said the reason that R&B isn't as powerful as it is anymore is because children are going to church.
Yeah.
What is it about the transfer from the spiritual to the secular do you believe that's what made R&B so powerful?
Understand this. Rhythm and blues was a combination of gospel and soul music. Because soul music has always been around in one form or another. It's just evolved throughout the years. And you got gospel, rhythm and blues. That's what put that together. That's why they made such a big stink about the Ray Charles incorporating gospel sounds into secular music. Because they wanted people to separate the two. This is demon, this is good. The truth is none of that's real. Right. There is no bad, there is no good. There is what is and there is what is not. And that's sad. But when you take the spirit that comes from that.
Justin Bieber has never publicly accused Diddy of criminal wrongdoing, but his later candor about anxiety, emotional exhaustion, and personal instability adds a critical layer to a far more complex story. He has spoken openly about being thrust into crushing pressure at a young age, surrounded by powerful adults with competing interests, expected to manage global fame without the tools or guidance needed to protect his mental health. That history doesn't offer simple conclusions, but it does disrupt surface-level narratives. It highlights the real cost of growing up too fast inside an industry where safeguarding a young artist was never the clear priority, and where success often came before well-being.
Just testified against Diddy to the grand jury and had to give up 8 videotapes to the feds that contained celebrities in these freak-offs with Diddy, is now listing some of the names that he saw on these tapes. And this man said that he got these tapes from a very close friend of Kim Porter's, and these were Kim Porter's tapes that she was going to use against Diddy. And some of the names that he says are some that we have heard rumored over the years. He said he saw Justin Bieber on this tape and he appeared to be underage during this time. He also saw Usher on these tapes and Usher definitely appeared to be underage. And this one gave me the chills because we've heard that Usher is the one that sent Justin Bieber to Diddy. Courtney Burgess sat down with the Too Strong channel here on YouTube and started naming some of the celebrities that he saw on these tapes.
Were kids involved in these parties that you can verify from looking at the tapes?
If Justin Bieber was older than he's supposed to have been, yes. If Usher was older, well, Usher was definitely young.
Okay.
You understand? It showed the part with his the blood was all in his bed. You understand? It looked like they came home from a event, a party or something.
Went on to explain how Danny Boy was also in one of these videos with Mary J. Blige and Diddy together. And Danny Boy admitted when he was 15 that Mary J. Blige flew him out to New York and he slept with her while he was under.
The point isn't to reach legal verdicts, it's to face the human cost. Harm doesn't always arrive with charges, headlines, or neatly defined accusations. More often, it shows up later as chronic strain, lost balance, and wounds that were never given language. When intensity and exposure are built into a system, damage can accumulate quietly without a single explosive moment to blame. That reality demands an uncomfortable reckoning. If the failure is structural rather than singular, why do we insist on a specific allegation before we're willing to admit that something, somewhere, clearly broke?
Danny Boy, okay.
You know what Danny Boy is?
I heard that before. I don't, I've been so far away from hip hop, I forgot, but I have heard that name, Danny Boy.
Danny Boy back then, he looked like he was about 16. They both was about.
He also claimed that Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, were in these videos, and he also said that there was photographs and videos of Diddy eating off of young girls.
Pictures or images of any of this stuff?
Yeah, I got Justin Bieber, Will Smith's son, whatever his name is. Other females on the table, they was young. He was eating off them. A lot of entertainments in there. I got calls from certain one to get the tape out of my hand. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
And I have said that if this man testified to the grand jury, the feds had to have some reason to bring him in to actually testify against Diddy. But y'all let me know what you guys think about this man naming all of the people on the Diddy tape.
When Diddy's story entered the federal courtroom, the conversation shifted from rumor to regulated examination, anchored in filings, procedures, and verifiable outcomes. Legal boundaries determined what could responsibly be said, even as they revealed broader issues the system isn't built to confront. Courts rule on conduct, not culture, and that gap leaves deeper failures untouched. The takeaway is stark. Legality is not the same as integrity, and procedural closure doesn't undo long-term harm. So when a case is closed on paper, the real question remains, does accountability end with a verdict? Or is that where the reckoning truly begins?
Do you think he has a mole or an informant in his camp that's cooperating?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Listen, bro. Just doing law enforcement myself, just take for instance. I think the individual was a Syracuse former basketball player named Jason Barnes or Beard or something like that. He already had drug charges against him. The day Diddy house get raided, they catch him getting on a plane and they put him into custody. Didn't that sound a little weird? People didn't catch that. They either put him in custody for a couple of reasons. You understand? One, to make a witness out of him, or to safeguard him and protect him for anything that could happen to him, because they had already stated, allegedly, that he was some kind of mule for the people over there at Diddy's house. So now, with that information, that he was already known by the government for drug charges, wouldn't that be an individual that you use? I'm gonna give you something different. And I'm gonna give you something else that people don't even think. On the other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up. And he started tapping him as if he was searching him and see if he had some kind of device on. Did you see that?
Yep.
Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber? And Diddy did that on tape. That means in his mind, he think this person may be a witness.
The intersection of 50 Cent, Diddy, and Justin Bieber exposes a deeper truth about celebrity-driven ecosystems, where power rises upward, vulnerability is pushed downward, and accountability arrives last, if it arrives at all. Youth is packaged as authenticity, proximity is sold as mentorship, and silence is rewarded as professionalism, normalizing imbalance until it no longer triggers alarms. This isn't a story of absolutes or single villains, but of repeated conditions that predictably produce harm. And when the same framework delivers the same outcomes again and again, one question becomes unavoidable. When does the system stop being background context and start demanding scrutiny itself?